After watching the Gear Up for Ager event today that was on Twitch, which was so freaking sick, I really enjoyed it. There were so many thousands of people watching it. Clearly, it was a good event. People enjoyed it. I feel like it was a good time for everyone, not just for the content creators that were going through Ager and then they went through Echidna, but for the people watching it, it was really cool. And I like this style of event. I would definitely like to see more things like that. It was just fun for everyone. But now we know, we have the patch notes, we have everything. We know all of the events that are coming or not coming. So I'm going to go through a couple of different ways to use the Ignite servers and maybe in different boats that you may be in. And then of course, I'm going to talk about how I'm personally going to use it for my main account and then my alt accounts as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I will admit I had an entire document set up for this, but I have no internet at the moment. G freaking G's, boys. Someone cut the fiber. So we're doing it impromptu as we're talking about it. So you're probably in one of these positions where you are a veteran, but you have no interest in making another alt. Or you might be a veteran and you do want to replace someone, or you could be a returning player, maybe with a couple of people on their roster already, and maybe you quit early, or you know, we're taking a break from the game and you're coming back for T4 in the Ignite servers, or you're a new player. Now, what are the options here? So for a veteran, when you have no real interest in playing the Ignite servers, you don't want to make another alt, your roster's set, I get it, right? It's like, oh my gosh, here we go. We didn't get an event for the legacy servers, but the Ignite servers are kind of a catch-all in a way that even if you do them, it takes 2 weeks to finish and graduate, okay? But the gift, man, that you get after you graduate, that 1620 alt, for you it'll be a 1620 alt, you get 200k gold, 50 million silver. I mean, you get crazy rewards, right? It's on the patch notes, but we get crazy rewards. So even if you have zero interest in doing it, it is still in your best interest to do it sometime in the next 7 weeks. 7 weeks, guys. It's so long. Like, just do it. Get the 200,000 bound gold. Get the 50 million silver. You get quality taps. You get all kinds of. You get car packs. You get car XP. You get all kinds of stuff. All right, so just do it. And of course, then we're at the veteran that's wanting to replace someone. My bad. The veteran that is wanting to replace someone in their current roster. This is the example that I'm in right now. I have 5 characters that are 1630 or above. Some of them well above 1630. But then I have a 6th character that is at 1600 that I'm never really wanting to invest in. So I'm going to obviously replace the GS, the 1600 GS, rest her soul. I'm replacing her with a Soul Eater. So this is the boat that I'm in, and this is likely one that many of us are in, because a lot of you do not have 6 people at 1620 or above ready to go to tier 4. And what this event is allowing you to do is it's allowing a very large percentage of the population that play this game still, or that are going to return to it, to essentially get right into tier 4 with only 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks worth of playing the game, which is absolutely insane. And then there are the new or returning players. Now, how should you treat the Ignite server? This is basically a testing ground, a playground, if you will, where you can create more than just one character. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are piquing your interest. You've seen YouTube videos of them, you know a little bit about them. Maybe you played them a little bit. If you're a returning player, you played them a little bit around like 1300, 1340, 1400 eye level or something like that. And you want to see what it's like when they're more geared, they have more skill levels, they have more stuff, right? They're more themselves, so to speak. This is the place for you. You get to jump in, try them out, do solo raids or do group raids. And this is especially true for new players. If Lost Ark tickles your fancy, if it's piquing your interest a little bit, this is a great place to start and just go through some character classes, look at them, say, hey, this looks cool, let me try it out, let me see what these systems are about, let me go through the tutorials, you know, let me do some raids. Maybe this game is for me, maybe it's not. But if you're a new player, just hop in, man. Just go in, try the classes. If you're not feeling it after a few days, you've kind of dabbled around with, maybe you make it Berserker and you're like, hey, this class kind of sucks. I don't like it. It doesn't fit my playstyle. Then that's the brilliant thing about Ignite Server. You can go try something different. You can dabble in the raids, the Chaos Dungeons, the Guardian raids, all, the content of the game, and just generally see if you like it. Moving on through that though, there's also another type of player or type of situation, if you will, and that is the alt addiction Andes. Like myself. I have 2 other accounts, okay, than my main. I technically play 3 different accounts depending on what my schedule is like through the week. Of course, I always get through my main, but then I have 2 alt accounts, okay? Now, on my main account, I'm going to use the Ignite server to replace my 6th character. So she will essentially, I'm making a soul leader. She is going to replace my 1600 gunslinger, and now I will have 6 people in tier 4. They should all be doing Aegir, or at least the top 5 are going to be doing it first week, and then my soul leader, the 6th person, will be there very shortly, a week or 2 after Aegir launches. Now, on my alt accounts though, and you might be an alt addiction Andy. You could be. That's me, man. That's me. Alt account number 1. All right. This is the infamous Zosma Ball Breaker account. This is the infamous account that has won 200k gold in the Blooming Makoko event already. Okay. But then we're getting another 200k gold from the event. Okay. So we're going to have 400k gold bound. I can't transfer it anywhere, can't do anything with it. Gotta spend it on this account, right? Zosma Ball is 1600 right now, and I am making the Bonk Man. That's right, I'm making a destroyer. Against many people's guidance, including Benji's. I asked him on stream, I said, hey man, do you think you'd be able to, give me some tips, pointers? And he said, yeah, bro, I got you. Don't make one. It's terrible. I wouldn't advise anyone to make a destroyer because all you're met with is depression. But I just can't help myself. I simply can't. I'm in it for the bonks. I'm in it for the memes, and I want him, and I want it bad. So I'm making a destroyer. Now, you might be in a similar situation with a crazy alt account. This is how I'm going to go about my alts to get the absolute most out of that gold that I can without literally just turning it into a second account where I'm, using all the gold, and the fact that it's an alt account kind of just starts defeating its own purpose of being an alt account. Now, the reason I have an alt account is because at the end of the day, I really don't like dailies in this game. I don't like them. That's why I'm usually low in silver, except when they start doing the chaos purification event thing when you only got to do 6 chaos a week. That's fantastic, by the way. I love it. But I'm usually low on silver because I don't like doing chaos, man. I only do that stuff rested. And eventually, after this hard push into tier 4, that's exactly what I'm going to start doing. Only chaos dungeons rested, only guardians rested, which gives me a lot more time during the week to raid, and not only raid with my static, which I absolutely love doing. Play with a great group of people. It's super fun, and the issue here though is that I still want to do more raids, and not only that, but I want to play with the community more. I want to play with you guys and gals more. Okay. So, I'm going to be on stream, I'm going to be playing with people, and I need more characters to do stuff with. Plus, the fighting, the raiding, the PvE content in this game is why I play it. And that's what I really, really enjoy about it, is there's so much variance to the character and play styles. So, in doing so, how do I bring up and make the absolute most out of this gold to get more people to the end game so I can be doing Aegir with more people, with the community, with everyone, okay? How do I have more fun? It's gonna take 200k gold to hone from 1640 to 1660, okay? Somewhere right around there. I've already done the math for it. It's very close to around 100k per 10 eye levels at that eye level range, all right? Now, 1660 is really the breakpoint that we've gotta reach. Why? Because Aegir is at 1660, Aegir normal. And that's when you start getting your pieces to start building more arc passive points, okay? And that's the goal here, because just having an alt that's around 1640, you're in this weird in-between zone where you're very much so weaker than someone at 1660 that has multiple Aegir pieces, that's unlocking arc passive, etc. Okay, so I really want to get people to 1660, and to do this, to hone there, it's going to cost about 200k gold. Now, we've got to keep in mind that the character coming out of Ignite server already has 1 through 3 armor trans done, okay? So to complete 4 through 7, it costs about 120k gold, somewhere in there, with no tickets, okay? But we are gonna have tickets. We're gonna have a lot of tickets, not just from the event, but we're gonna have some from the Chase the Storm event. If you did that, you're gonna have 30 extra. There's a lot of places for tickets. 30 to 50 tickets, we'll say. It's probably gonna cost somewhere between 70 to 90k, somewhere in there. Now, if we spend 70 to 90k, then that only leaves us with the 100 and we'll say 125 or 120k left from that initial 200k gold, all right, that we get from the Ignite server gift. So that's only going to allow us to get to around 1650 honing plus finishing your transcendence. Now, you could just hone to 1660 and not do any armor trans, but it's going to be very hard to get into a group to do the raid. And unless you have a static that is willing to take you into that raid like that, then it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. Now, take this in mind that if you do have a group that's going to take you, it is going to be wiser to just hone to 1660 instead with that bound gold, get Aegir pieces, and the damage increase is so much higher from getting those Aegir pieces and going to arc passive or unlocking more and more arc passive the more pieces you get, compared to your armor transcendence going from 4 to 7, right? Because you're really only unlocking about 10 to 11% extra damage from finishing your armor transcendence, as opposed to using that gold to instead get to 1660, start getting your Aegir pieces, and when you start unlocking arc passive pieces, you're talking about getting 15, 20, 40, 60, 80, you know, it just keeps going up and up and up and up. The more pieces that you unlock, the more arc passive points that you get. Not to mention we have hyper skill and hyper awakenings as well. So being able to have more points to put it to that skill tree too, just it's so much more damage in a percentage wise as opposed to finishing your transcendence. But it looks really bad when you're trying to apply to a group. If you're 1660 and you've got no armor trans, or you've got 1 through 3 armor trans done, you know, something like that. So you have to kind of balance this out and just see what position you're in. For me in particular, I don't mind spending a little bit of unbound gold as well as I'm earning this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hone to 1660 to start getting Aegir pieces as well as finishing armor trans. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish weapon trans immediately or if that will come after I get to 1660, just because weapon trans is going to still cost around, even with tickets, probably 75 to 100k, and that 6 to 7% at the beginning of tier 4, it's just not worth it. It's really not. It's much more worth it to get to Aegir and start doing the raid. Okay, if you can get into the raid and into a group, it's much more important to do that. Now I also have to think about Zosma Ballbreaker, man. Poor Zosma Ballbreaker, he's 1600. And after T4, 1600, that zone is dead. Okay, anything under 1620, it's gonna be dead, guys. So I gotta get him up there. I want to get him up there. Breaker looks insanely fun. Okay, and I have one on my main roster as well, but this is my alt roster. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pump him up to 1660 as well. Now to get him to 1660 and do his armor transcendence, it's likely gonna cost about 350k gold or so to do that. That is definitely going to require me spending some of the unbound gold that I get from this roster of the Destroyer and the Zosma Ball Breaker, okay? But that's okay, because in the end, I'll have two 1660s to play extra with y'all, earn gold on, have fun, and ultimately enjoy the game more. Now, this is an alt account, so we gotta take it slow and in stride, baby. We're not rushing, okay? We're just chilling. As time goes on, we'll get it done. But, you know, at the end of the day, Ignite servers are going to be over like this. It's going to be very quick. And since I already have a lot of bound gold on that account, I'll be able to just push pretty hard at the beginning, spend all the bound gold, at least get my Destroyer up to 1660 and start pumping those raids out, baby. Even though he's going to be on Deep Dive 30, which is, God, that's so depressing. Poor DD 30. He's still going to pump, okay? If anything, for the memes. So that's how I'm treating this. And also, I have another alt account, okay? It's Glaive with 10s. But unfortunately, Glaive with 10s ain't coming to tier 4, all right? I don't have any bound gold on that account, and I'm not about to spend a bunch of unbound gold leveling her up to 1620, all right? Glaive with 10s is going in the garbage. But at any rate, I'm going to be absolutely juicing this alt, this new character, possibly Pistolier, with all of that bound gold. So I'm trying to make it to 1660. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get much armor trades done along the way. Maybe I'll just do chest and pants and then leave the other things at level 3, because again, 1660, that's when you getting through Aegir and you're able to have such a massive power spike that the gold you invested into honing pays off instead of investing it into transcendence. And you can get that transcendence done later when there's more free tickets or there's, you know, different events or whatever it is, right? You can kind of get that done slowly because the power spike is so big once you start getting into arc passive. But guys, that is everything for this video. I'm not 100% sure what character I'm going to make. I'm really leaning towards Pistolier though. So let me know down in the comments what you think I should make. What are you making? Dude, I'm just way too hyped for this freaking event. I'm very, very excited if you can't tell. I'm going to be live as soon as servers are up. So come hang out in the stream. It's at twitch.tv/itsdoubla. It's in the link below as well in the description. So come and hang out, man. I want to see y'all there. It's going to be a blast. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.